Born and bred in Chicago. I grew up on the near west side. If you're familiar with Taylor Street in Little Italy, not too far from there. And it definitely impacted my career. I know the city quite well. I feel like every neighborhood's a lot like my backyard. And so I feel confident when I partner with families that I can find them in the right place in the right neighborhood. So my clientele ranges from like first-time home buyers, $150,000 condos up to like seasoned families that have purchased many homes up to a few $1,000,000. And they do go from like South Shore Chicago through Hyde Park. I'd say a big book of my business is faculty and professors at the University of Chicago, all the way up to the north side at Northwestern, where I also have clients that live up there. You know, I've been thinking about real estate for a long time, even when I was a fundraiser for those number of years between University of Chicago and WBEZ. And because this love of like architecture, I've always been fascinated with like how communities are built. When I think about like Pilsen, historically was Hispanic, but before then the Czechs were there. And so like migration patterns were always fascinating to me. So when I pair that interest with the love for architecture and just Chicago as a whole, I said, you know, I need to get my license. I think this will be a really good, rewarding career for me, one that I could be good at and one that I'll be doing for a long time. I am a foodie. I'm like a brown or a blue collar foodie. Like I like to go into a place. I prefer diners. I have an appreciation for 5-star restaurants, Michelin star restaurants, but I just love popping into in every man's diner, every woman's diner in the local neighborhood that's been sustained by the neighborhood, like Manny's Deli, like in the South Loop, is kind of close to Chinatown. But yeah, I've got a vibe for those kind of restaurants. My clientele is probably equally balanced between buyers and sellers. When I think about buyers in particular, the hardest part of my job is not only like negotiating the contract, getting them in the right place, but it's managing every step of the way after the contract is signed. A lot of that is preempted by finding them in the right neighborhood. Like the house is just one particular piece that you're buying as a buyer. You're buying into a neighborhood. And I get to help kind of frame that community in many ways, which is a personal word for me, but that level of trust that the buyers are putting into your hands, me helping them do the research for school districts if that's important. How far is public transportation? Can I drive here? Are there coffee shops and retail I could walk to? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of like preparation. But again, it's something I take a lot of pride in, that these families are trusting me into their circle. With a big purchase that that's probably the biggest investment they're going to make in their lives, and it's a sense of honor and pride to be along with that. If you're looking for a lifelong Chicagoan that knows every neighborhood like the back of his hand, not only at the street level but at the marketing data point perspective, and is not afraid to rock a pair of Jordans, that's me.